Hi, welcome to Code.io. This is day 21 of 100 days of code, and the question for today is called remove duplicates from a sorted array. Okay, so the question is quite simple. You're given a sorted array and it is of size n, and you're supposed to remove all duplicates from it. So, in the sense, you're not actually going to delete elements, we are just going to have all the unique elements at the start of the array, and you're going to return at which point the array ends. Okay, so this is what you are going to do, and you are not supposed to use any extra space for it. So if you were thinking of something like using a hash map to find the duplicates, that is not applicable here. Okay, and the key point here you have to note is that the array is a sorted array. Okay, so that gives us some benefits. Okay, so if the array is a sorted array, the elements that are duplicates will be in a continuous fashion, right? So let me just explain myself. So this is a sorted array, right? And the duplicate elements are these twos right here, and as you can see, these are in a continuous fashion, right? So they are present in the array right next to each other. So this is the property that you are going to use to find and remove the duplicates from this array. Okay, so now we'll move on to the approach that I'm going to use, and then we'll try to code this. Okay, so let me just redraw this array here, and we'll then move on with the approach. So 2, 2, 2, 5 and 7. Okay, that is it. Now we are going to have a couple of pointers in the sense just some pointing variables like I and j, nothing special. So we are going to have two pointers, one is I, another one is j. Okay, let me just point I from here and j from here, and their initial positions are going to be 0 and 1. So the point I is going to start from 0 and the pointer j is going to start from 1, and the condition that you are going to check is that if array of j is equal to array of I, meaning that if that is a duplicate element. Okay, so that is the condition. Let me just write it here. Array of j equal to array of I. Okay, so this is the condition that you are going to check. Now in this case, are those equal? If array of j is equal to array of I, yes it is. So in that case, you are going to increment the value of j. This is the only thing that you are going to do. Okay, if array of I is equal to array of j, you are going to increment the value of j. So j has moved to the next element in the array. Okay, now you are going to do the same process. You are going to check if array of j is equal to array of I, and in this case they are equal as well. Both of them are 2. So you are going to increment the value of j again, meaning that the element will move to the next character. Now it is present at 5. Okay, the pointing variable j is currently present at 5 and I is present at the first position, that is at 2. Okay, now we are going to check if array of j is equal to array of I. They are not equal, right? So in this case, if they are not equals, this is the if condition, right? If array of j is equal to array of I, this is the if condition. Now we are moving to the else condition, right? If that is not true, you are going to increment the value of I, which is I plus plus, and you will replace your current value of I with j's value. Okay, so what do I mean by that? We are going to say that array of I is equal to array of j. I will explain what I am doing here in a minute. So we are replacing array of I with array of j. We are also going to increment the value of j. Okay, so what exactly have we done here? We know that up until this position the array is unique, right? Because that is the first element. When you have only one element, it obviously is a unique array. And now we know that these two elements, right, the second and third elements are obviously duplicates, and we have found another element which is not a duplicate, which is a unique element. Now what you're going to do is that you are going to increment the value of I, so that I will be here, and you are going to replace that value with the value at jth index, meaning 5 will come over here. Okay, once you have done that, you are going to move the j pointer as well. Now j will be pointing here. Okay, so this is the logic that you are going to use. If they are same, you are just going to increment the value of I. If they are not, you are going to increment the value of sorry, let me say that again. If they are same, you are just going to increment the value of j. Okay, j is the pointer that just moves on, and I is the pointer at which you place new elements into the array, right? So if they are same, you are just going to increment the value of j. If they are not, you are going to increment the value of I and place the current value of j in that index, and then move j as well. Okay, so that is what you are going to do. Now after this, what you are going to do, you are going to check if array of j is equal to array of I. They are not. Now, so when they are not, what you are going to do, you are going to increment the value of I. So I will point here. You are going to replace your current value with j's value, so this will become 7, and you are going to increment the value of j, right? So j will come over here, which is not possible because the array has come to an end, and that is the logic that you are going to use. So this is the whole approach. Now we'll move on to geeks for geeks and we'll try to program this. So as we saw in the approach, you are going to have two pointing variables, I and j, right? So I'm just going to declare and initialize those. Int I equals 0, so it is starting from the first character of the array or first element of the array, and the second variable j, it is going to start from the second one, right? So j equals 1, and to iterate through the array, I am just going to use a while loop, and the condition that I am going to give is that j less than n. Okay, when j reaches the end of the array, you don't have to proceed further. So that is the condition that you are going to do, and inside this you are going to check if array of j is equal to array of I. If that is the case, you can just increment the value of j. If it is not, what we have discussed, right? We are going to increment the value of I. We are going to place array of j's value in that value. So array of I equals array of j. I'm sorry, it's just a, not arr. Okay, so array of I equals array of j, and you are also going to increment the value of j. This is it. And after coming out of the loop, you can just return I plus 1. Okay, because they are asking us to return the number of elements. So I is the current value where it is currently presented, right? That is up until the last element, which is unique. It is that index, but we are required to return the number of elements. So we are just going to return I plus 1, and this is the code. Now we'll try to run this and see if it works. The code is working fine and all test cases have passed. So hope you understood this logic. If you have any questions, put them in the comments, and see you on next episode of 100 Days of Code. Bye for now.